There are times where you can actually use this beyond just, you know...
Yeah, dude.
Those...
Big open spaces, you can do that.
Yeah.
Tactical nuke.
Oh!
It basically is.
Oh, wait, I don't think we had it before then, did we? With that...
We did when we blew up the gate and had the Berserker guy come after us. We could have used it there, technically.
Yeah. We should have used it there. Because it looks so good when you just obliterate an entire group of things like that. Just, yeah, you're done, Samus Aran. Hey, what are you doing over there? Calling for the Federation to save your hide?
Oh, her ship's coming to pick her. Oh, wait, what the hell?
Hey, those missiles! You don't get many opportunities to do stuff like that, though, which kind of sucks. But it is kind of cool when you can do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's rarely opportunities where it's really useful, but it can be good if there are a lot of enemies you're sick and tired of.
Especially when one of them's a goddamn berserker. Or giant.
Well, we don't see too many of those, thankfully.
Not yet, anyway!
Yeah, I think they start becoming a little more common in later areas.
Yeah, the thing I want to know is...
You can use it in this room, for example, but it's not really worth it with these guys.
Not if I kill you first.
That was worth it. What else did it? Oh, Monster Hunter stories too. I know people like that.
I'm not super big on Monster Hunter, but
yeah,
good for them.
Apparently it's like a weird like Pokemon-like.
I know what Monster Hunter stories.
Stories,
right?
yes.
I only know Monster Hunter. I never heard.
It's like a story-based one. You can like collect monsters to use them for things. It's different. Oh, screw this. We're out of here. Samus Aran, it's too much. Fuck this. Cowards.
So we're done here, and now we have to go to the
other area.
the
biggest thing everybody liked, they showed off footage of Breath of the Wild 2. I forgot about that.
I mean...
It looks like more of the same, but more advanced tools. Like, if they had proper dungeons, and like an actual feeling of progression.
If it's anything like, you know, how Link to the Past or Link Between Worlds did, where you can go in any dungeon you want, but each dungeon actually has a distinct identity, then I'll be all over it, honestly.
Like,
the thing is, like, that's the biggest gripe I have with it, is that every single area feels the same.
I will constantly say this, though. Despite a lot of problems I've had Breath of the Wild, going through fucking Hyrule Castle getting to Ganon was arguably the most fun I've had in a Zelda game. Like, that actually felt like a legitimate dungeon.
Yeah, that last...
At least for, like, the combat and exploration front, like, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
I spent like an hour in there. I loved it.
Like I said, like, the other 4 dungeons, well, the first dungeon was fine, but then again, I realized
then the other 3 are the fucking same. It was like, ugh. But Hyrule Castle, that was glorious. That was by far the best part of the game to me. I loved that.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the entire
game. The shrines were fine, and some of the challenges to get to them were also kind of interesting, but Hyrule Castle is the big standout moment of the game for me.
Hyrule Castle was the... I'll say this, for as much as I hate Breath of the Wild, I will say Hyrule Castle was definitely...
There was like,
it definitely had its identity, to say the least.
There are plenty of secrets to find in there. There's interesting lore to read up in there. There are tough enemies.
Like, you go in there and you know it feels like.
And that's like the only part of the game that has actual fucking music.
Yeah.
Like,
I am supposed to be here, right?
Yes. We gotta go back to the generator down there. It's gonna be annoying to get back there, but we can do it. Thankfully, we have a shortcut, so there's a bit less trod to go through.
Where is it, you ask?
Remember all the way where we went down before?
Yep.
We gotta go past where we fought Rundus. And that room is where the trouble comes in. So take that shortcut and then go back to the save point. And then again, I guess you wouldn't really be saving that much time you went to the save station from here.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Because the shortcut basically take you, like, most of the way. Like, save yourself a few seconds if you ended up dying.
I guess.
Yeah.
If it's really worth that much,
yeah, I hope Breath of the Wild 2, they actually have legitimate dungeons. That's the one thing it really needs.
Yeah.
And a little more to do in the overworld. But then again, that's most overworld games.
I know Monolith Soft is a little bit more, is a big development behind it, so I want to have faith in them.
They at least crafted the... I don't know about the gameplay aspect, but I know they crafted the world for the first game.
Yeah. And usually I like, their
big worlds, yeah.
Because, I mean, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2.
Because there are always monsters everywhere. It always felt like there was something to do exploring their vast worlds. Or...
side quests.
Yeah, side quests always had you something to do, yeah. Well, Breath of the Wild, it's like all the side quests are usually contained to the town, with the exception of the frickin' Korok shit or finding a
Yeah, but it's more like the tedious
stuff
stuff.
for shrines.
But it's more the tedious stuff.
Yep.
And honestly, for as much crap I know some people may give Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for some instances, I will say I do like the unique blade quests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it helped, define a little bit more areas beyond just, being relegated to just simple dungeons.
There's only tedious getting the blades themselves for those quests.
Yeah, it's just RNG at
That
point.
system is just annoying. Well, I know post-game there's a good way to grind that shit.
Yeah, there is, but it can get kind of exhausting when you first play through and don't know.
Capcom talked about Resident Evil, Monster Hunter stuff. Oh yeah, something I like that you probably don't care about too much. The Great Ace Attorney games. After 5 years, they finally got localized.
Good for the guys who like Ace Attorney, I suppose.
I'm one of them. I like the characters and the stories are usually pretty well told, but that's the thing. We were told they were really good, and they were only in Japan.
Yeah,
for
that's the
years.
thing.
Supposedly there were some things that made translation rough. People assumed it was Sherlock Holmes. That wasn't the case. Although they did change the character's name to Sherlock Holmes instead of Sherlock Holmes.
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Some people hate it, but like, they even came with jokes with it. They like refer to it as like Hairlock as if he was Sherman. It's like, yeah, whatever you want to call him. By the way, this room sucks. Remember those radar jammers?
Yeah.
Notice there's a giant thing blocking the elevator. Notice there are 2 radar jammers. You have to get them both pulled at once, pull them both quickly one after another, and then quickly fall into place. You can't be in Hypermode while you do it, by the way. You can't switch.
Yep. Oh, crap.
Wow. Whoa. I guess the ship really decided to fuck you up.
What hammered me?
Something big. Unless you were close to Phazon or something?
But that wouldn't make sense because it's supposed to be healed by Phazon. Unless it's the
Oh,
enemy's
right.
going on.
I was saying, maybe it was a ship. I was saying, after you kill those pirates, they were just like, okay, shit's getting real. I forgot. I think they do send a lot of pirates at you.
Well, at least it's a... No, it's not. Never mind. At least the wait there isn't too long.
Yeah, you can skip this too, I think.
Thank God.
Any landing sequence you've seen, you can skip.
Oh,
Because
no.
those are cutscenes.
God, I wish more games did this.
Yeah. Well, the trilogy, they all do that.
I know, that's why I'm saying...
In Prime 3, it only does it in subsequent playthroughs. But in the trilogy version, you can always... Oh, no. You can only skip them after the first time you've seen them.
That's still not too bad, all things
Yeah.
considered.
Yeah.
It could be much worse. Why am I fighting you?
Okay, what else went over? The indie showcase. Yeah, a lot of indie games. Oh yeah, Toy Soldier's getting an HD remake. I forgot I had that game with PS1. It was kind of fun. I'm surprised that of all things an HD remake. I remember Toy Soldier was more of a movie. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, wasn't that like the
The
weird...
game was probably better though.
Yeah, wasn't that like the weird edgy...
Yeah, it was a little edgy. I remember it.
Because it was trying to be like edgy Toy Story or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of like how, what was it, an Ant's Life?
From a game perspective, it was actually kind of neat. Like Ants was the Bugs Life. Yeah.
Edgy Bug's Life. Or
Yeah.
an infamous one, fucking Shark Tale or whatever. For Finding Nemo.
Oh right. I forgot about that one entirely.
Yeah. Because I was also having a little bit of this thing of, I mean, I'm already here, might as well.
PC had stuff, but mostly for strategy games and some... Oh yeah, Google Stadia, I forgot, is like basically dead.
I mean, Stadia killed itself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't... I was gonna say I don't hate the idea. It's
where it gets hairy.
The technology's not there right now. That's what I'll say, the technology is not there right now.
Yeah, because some people would say, well, they're a giant tech company, they can clearly make games. That's not how it works.
Yeah, look at fucking Amazon. They just threw money in the games division. Bezos threw so many just the business division because he thought he'd do well in it. Nope. Had no idea what the hell he was doing.
And on top of that, also, being an asshole towards the,
They worked with, like, MMOs and other games for, like, years, and none of them went through because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yep, and on
At
top
least
of
the head
that,
guy did.
And on top of that, he was also being an asshole to developers anyway, wondering why it was failing. And it's like, well, game development isn't like, you know, standard business or whatever, just stuff.
Oh yeah, survival horror RPG based on Chernobyl. That could be interesting, I guess.
I mean, I'm not super...
Enter into, like, historical, political shit, I guess. Square Enix, yep, dove head first with fucking the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Already not interested.
Yeah, it looks like...
Look,
Bomb quickly! Bomb quickly!
Come on!
Yes.
Hog.
Yep, that's the way you want to do it. You want to get through that real fast. There's no way you can stop us, Samus Aran.
Hey, are those bombs?
Oh!
The great equalizer.
Yep. The beauty of it.
Let's fucking go.
That's the way you want to handle it. You just want to get in them, turn them off quick, and just bomb them.
Yep. I underestimated how quick it could possibly do it.
Yep. But yeah, there was a Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Which honestly, if the Avengers game was anything to go by, I really don't have any faith in it.
Yep. As weird, Gamescom they announced an Avengers XCOM style game.
That sounds legitimately cool.
Yeah. I say I like the idea better than the Avengers one they did and what the Guardians of the Galaxy will be. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you run into those guys, it hurts. And they kind of you got trapped. Oh god. Well, that was unpleasant. Right. Damage stacks really fast with your fuel gel. If you don't get out of it at all, it stacks really fast. Those fucking little guys. I forgot they show up in this room in your second trip. I hate that. But yeah, that could be kind of neat. That didn't show at E3. Probably because it wasn't ready, I guess, at the time.
Yeah. But that does sound cool.
But the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters, apparently they aren't... They're mobile only. That pissed people off.
I mean, Square's kind of just been running towards the mobile scene anyway, to be fair.
Except for their high-profile games like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
And eventually Final Fantasy 16.
Yes.
And then they also had something else, which kind of was like a big fucking meme.
Oh yeah, and the big thing they showed, you get to play as Black Panther in fucking the Marvel's Avengers. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
Capitalizing on the death of Chadwick Boseman. Good job, assholes.
Nice
I mean,
timing.
that's a cruel way to put it, but you know, it kind of comes off that way.
It only comes off that way because of how poorly executed the entire game has generally been.
Oh yeah, and Babylon's Fall is a hack and slash game worked by the people who did Nier Automata from Platinum Games.
So, good on them, I guess. Not super big on it either way. It's never super big on Nier, but good for the people who like it.
Alright, and Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, retelling of Final Fantasy 1 with Souls-like action combat.
Oh, yeah, that's the meme.
That sounds as generic as it gets. Jesus. That's all the check marks. Good lord.
Made by Team Ninja, with basically Souls-like content, and the fucking meme of Chaos came from that
Kill Chaos, your two other prophesized warriors of light.
I forget what the meme was for Chaos, but look it up.
Oh god.
If you're curious.
I'll look that up some other time. That sounds great. Also, we destroyed all the generators, so now we can fly to the sea.
Yep. Time for the big fight.
Yep.
And I can tell you right now, we are not going to move on to that.
Xbox and Bethesda. They showed a little bit of Starfield, the highly anticipated game that people are waiting for their thing. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Back 4 Blood, right? The,
yeah.
basically, successor to...
The glorified Left 4 Dead
yeah.
game.
Well, some people aren't looking as good as Left 4 Dead, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. It could be good, because Left 4 Dead was good.
Left 4 Dead was excellent, but that also came out during the time. I don't know who's the ones developing right now. It might just be Remnants, and that could be the big problem that this game might suffer from, because it's just the Remnants.
One of the games that came out on Game Pass recently, 12 minutes. Apparently some weird puzzle game. Some people really like.
I'm not going to this game.
Psychonauts 2, which did come out. People like basically
I
Psychonauts,
still need to play Psychonauts 1.
Apparently Psychonauts 2 is basically similar to Psychonauts with more polished. So
That's nice.
about what you expect.
I mean, was this the same person that nobody that everyone that had like the controversy or whatever? I'm trying to remember.
What for the
The Psychonauts. I feel like this is the guy that had like the. Nah, I don't know.
That's Double Fine, I think. I don't think that's that.
Oh wait, I might be thinking of also the person who did that. Is that a Big Mickey? I'm not sure.
Let's see. They also show off some story stuff for Halo Infinite, but they showed off a lot more games on them.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 Resurrected, which isn't looking like Warcraft 3, thankfully.
Yeah.
That's garbage!
Warcraft 3 was basically just
Finally, go
like...
to your left. Save yourself some time, go to your left.
Yeah, I forgot, man. I'm just showing the shit.
Yep.
But yeah,
that was...
Warcraft 3 was the biggest middle finger I've seen in a while. To be fair, Activision and Blizzard have just been pulling out bigger middle fingers at every waking moment. Apparently, I heard there's another Spyro game in the works.
Yep, but Toys for Bob will not work on that. Probably.
Yeah. Which sucks.
Yep.
Is this the right way?
You don't need to go in there anymore. We can go back to the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, warp the shortcut. You also get a frame voucher for that for some reason. For taking that warp shortcut. Slime Rancher 2, yeah, whatever. A new snowboarding game, which we don't have a lot of, so I'm not against that.
I mean, the last major snowboarding game that came out during the time was...
Like an SSX game,
an
like
SSX
Tricky
game.
or something.
SSX Tricky, I think.
Something like that.
I feel like there was another snowboard game, but I feel like that's one of the cases of, like, you know, those, like, obscure style games. Because I know I used to play, back when I still had my laptop, I still played this unique motor bike game called Descenders, if you ever heard of that.
Yeah,
that one was actually pretty good. It's quite fun.
Mm.
Pretty nice game to chill to.
Still a lot more Xbox did. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like I said, Xbox did pretty big.
Plague Tale Requiem, Atomic Heart, Far Cry 6 is a console launch exclusive.
Yeah.
Obsidian showed off stuff. The developers of Suikoden and Suikoden 2.
Yep, that's another big one. Thank you for reminding me.
Something got delayed for Ayuden Chronicle 100
Ayuden
Heroes.
Chronicles 100 Heroes. That was the other thing that I'm like...
Delayed for another year, but at least it's something that's kind of interesting.
And the thing is, they had proof of concept for that game as well, and they met all their stretch goals.
And a
And
Vampire
it's made
Hunter...
by the same people that...
The last thing they mentioned is a vampire hunting shooter called Redfall. A vampire shooter could sound interesting, though.
Depends.
Yeah.
I mean, if they make it something interesting like, you know, Van Helsing or something like that.
Yeah.
Concept theory.
Yeah, they did show a lot of stuff. I forgot about that. Gearbox kind of sucked. I forgot about their stuff.
Yeah, but as you can see, with both of these
oh, right.
radars down before Rio Plot,
Rio Seed.
the Rio Sea is open now. Let's head there. And I'll guarantee you, we will not finish this tonight. I think now is the time to call it.
Yeah, probably. It's... Oh, yeah, it's getting a little late now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would...
That first turret really destroyed me.
As much as I don't want to say anything, I would expect some deaths against this boss, because he's a pain in the ass.
You know, I
He's
died to him the
awful.
first time I played through. I'm not... It's going to be surprised if I get smashed around by
That's
this
the first
asshole.
boss that killed you when you play this game? The first time?
Trying to think.
Or did you maybe die to Ridley or something?
I might have... I didn't die to Ridley.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Did I die to Rondus? Or maybe I died in one of the early sections trying to figure
Oh,
out what
right,
the hell to
okay.
do.
I mean, yeah.
Although in terms of bosses, I feel like... I
This
do
is
know
the
for sure...
hardest, this is arguably the hardest part of the game, too.
And you asked me...
Oh, God!
You know, people ask me... I always say to myself that I'm kind of incompetent when it comes to, you know, doing video game challenges and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to do challenges that much unless the game is perfectly designed for it. And other times, the challenge enough is just for me trying to beat the game in hard mode and beat it out in one piece.
This is one of them.
This is one of those games where it's like, I'd rather just beat the game in one piece, have everything
The
on my
combat's
hand.
difficult, and in hyper mode, everything just has more health, so you gotta be shooting a lot better consistently.
Yeah, it takes a little bit more management of your hyper mode. And honestly, I'm okay with that, but don't expect me to go any further than that.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I play, like, there are people who will try to do things in a harder way that's, like, good for you. You probably have more time to burn than I do. I don't. I'd rather just get through with this with, as minimal pain as possible, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
Yep.
look at that beautiful, beautiful eye. Exposed center than this whole air mass is vulnerable. You shoot the shit out of it. With charge shots, of course.
So honestly, I think it's probably a good idea to just call it here for now.
Well, I say, like, are we thinking of doing this right now?
Hell no. I'm walking forward just because I'm like brain dead, like trying not to think too hard. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
though?
I'm just thinking about it, and then I'm just shooting this. It's like, oh wait, we're about to enter this. Hang on a second.
Yeah. But next time we will continue on through Brio.
Yep, which is this.
I will say this
Oh,
much.
man.
As much as I did hate the second boss a little bit more, this boss did wreck me a couple of times when I first played the game. So it's not like this boss is a pushover either.
I'll just say, as somebody who's an expert of the trilogy, this is my least favorite boss of this game. Probably my second least favorite boss in the entire trilogy, only behind Omega Pirate.
Yep.
This one is that bad. So,
The unholy trio, each one from each game. Omega Pirate from Prime 1.
Ing Emperor / Dark Samus from Prime 2. Unless you're playing GameCube, then it's fucking Boost Guardian.
Yeah, let's say like Boost Guardian or Spider
Oh,
Guardian.
you can also say Boost Guardian in freaking Prime 2 trilogy as well. It's still hard.
I mean, you saw me get wrecked by the
Three
Boost Guardian.
times, yeah.
Got exhausting.
That one is naturally hard. And then, really, you could pick a boss from this.
You could probably make an argument.
Moganar's probably the biggest one to take, although really, this or the last boss, really I could say, sure. Really,
Yeah.
I got no problem with you saying either.
Because it's early on, and for the kind of boss that this thing is...
He's not difficult, it just takes fucking forever. You'll see that when we get to it next time.
Yep, so see you then.
Yes,
God help us all.
please do. If you actually exist, prove it.